Alright, so welcome to the training. Here is the day by day distribution of the complete course, and we have organized the course in a very systematic way, starting from the basics of Java to Selenium to the Webdriver frameworks and all everything. Right. So there are few FAQs which I want to take up with you before I start off with the training, so that you also know that you also get your doubts clarified and all, right? So the first thing is that basically what all is taught in the course. Okay, in the course we basically cover Java, WebDriver, frameworks, Maven, and TestNG, Jenkins, Grid. These are the major topics which are covered. Okay, if you're not aware of these, then don't worry, soon you will be aware of these. Okay, right, so these are the basic essentials in Selenium. Right, and will I get access to the videos? Yes, you will get access to the pre-recorded videos, and also the videos which are recorded during the current class. This is the current class. I am recording this session. You will get access to this recording as well. Okay, yes, I record the current session and I give you the access. After the class, you'll get an email with the link to view the videos. Okay. Is Java required? I don't know programming. Well, I would say that Java is required. There you cannot run away from it. Okay, 90% of the people coming to us are manual testers. They don't know Java, so I won't say that you don't need to know Java and you'll be able to learn Selenium. No, that's not the case. You will have to learn Java. You cannot run away from it. But yes, it's not as tough as many people think. So we will be starting off with Java, but yes, we assume that you know the basics. That is, what is a if statement, for loop, while loop, functions, variables. You at least know the basics of programming. Okay. If you are a kind of person who has never done programming, then I would say that don't join the training directly. Buy the videos, watch them, get some background, and then pay the remaining, the difference amount, and then join the training. Okay. At times, people come up with this question that I want help in my project or I want to clear an interview with Selenium. Right, you can do that. You can clear an interview, you can work on a project. Okay, but the thing is, to learn this tool, it will just take you 10 days. In 10 days, you can learn Selenium, Java, and all, and you can start working with Selenium. You will be able to do, you will be aware of the basic commands and all. But if you want to learn it in a professional way, that is, after learning, you should be able to clear an interview or work on a project, then it's a process. It's a process of 6 to 8 weeks. Sometimes it goes more than that as well. Even after this training is complete, you will have to put in a good amount of effort every day. Okay, right. So the duration of this course is 25 to 30 hours. Right, we will be doing 5 days a week, and the course basically covers, in 50% of the course we have covered WebDriver, Java, TestNG, Grid. Okay, the regular components of Selenium. Right, and in the next 50% we will be covering a framework or a project. Okay, which will be an end-to-end implementation of multiple test cases. Right. So the question which many people ask is that could you please provide some kind of live project? Live project is basically a framework. Hold on. Yeah, this is the question which many people ask. Could you also provide some kind of live project? Live project is basically a framework, and we have covered all the types of frameworks in our pre-recorded sessions. In the online training, we take one of the frameworks, right, and we take it very elaborately. Okay, so these were few frequently asked questions. Fine. Now let us start with the training. Before I start with the training, do you guys have any questions? Feel free to ask. You can move your mouse on the top. You will see a chat option. You can chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask a question. No question? Okay. Please don't hesitate. In case you have any doubts, you can please clarify it with me. Alright, fine. Now let us start with the course. Today is the very first day, the very basics, and many of you must have done these things which I am telling you over here. Okay, the first thing is introduction, right, which I've given you course FAQs. Now let me talk about the brief history of Selenium and what is the future and how it is going about. Right. Look, initially I'll tell you, Selenium basically came up with three components. I worked on it for the first time somewhere in 2007. Okay. And Selenium basically came up with three components. Okay. Initially, in the earlier days, right, there was something known as Selenium RC. There's something known as IDE. There is something known as grid. Okay. Right. Now, grid, I'll tell you everything. RC is something, or IDE is something which is still there in the market. It only works on Mozilla and it's primarily a record and run tool. Okay, many of you must have seen it. Okay, but we don't use it. It only works on IDE and it does thus the recording and running. It works only on Mozilla. Right. So initially people used to use Selenium RC as RC could work on multiple browsers. Okay, right, but it had many drawbacks. You could write scripts, you could write dynamic scripts which could work on different browsers. You could batch run the test cases and all everything. Okay, but it had various drawbacks. I won't go into very detail. I'm just giving you an overview. Okay, and grid was something with which you could parallelly execute your test cases across different machines. Okay, in grid, we keep a central machine and we connect other nodal machines to the central hub machine. Okay, and we distribute our test cases parallelly across different systems. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, it's back. We distribute our test cases parallelly across different systems. Okay, so this was grid. Fine. Now, as time progressed, things improved and RC got deprecated. RC is no longer used. You don't need to use it. Okay, I'm sorry, it's going again away. Right. You don't need to use RC. Right. Right now, you have got Webdriver 3 in the market. And that's what we will be doing in this course. Okay, right. IDE is still there. Okay, but it's not a very useful tool. We won't be covering it. Yes, grid we will be covering it. Grid 3 is there these days. We will be covering it in the course. Okay, fine. Now basic problem is Java, which mean with the majority of the people. And you need to know some of the concepts of core Java, which I will be covering in the training. Okay, also the pre-recorded videos which we have, they have Java in more elaboration. The first 7 videos are on Java. Okay, look, the thing is, if you learn Java, then you are able to learn Selenium. And it's not just about Selenium. You get that programming knack. You get that idea about programming. Tomorrow, if you have to learn a tool like SOAP UI or a REST Assured, which are for API testing. Okay, or you want to learn a tool like Appium, which is for mobile automation, the mobile app automation, right? Okay. Or you want to learn JMeter, which is for performance testing. Okay, right. So learning these tools, it becomes really easy because you have that programming background. Okay, so after learning Selenium, you can learn these tools quite easily. Okay, it's just that you have to learn Java once. Fine, you cannot run away from Java. So let us start with Java. The first thing is the latest version of Java in the market is Java 10, but don't install that. It's got some issues. Right. Go for Java 8. Just go to Google and type download JDK 8. If you have installed it, then it's fine. If you haven't, you can simply go to the Oracle website and you can accept the license and download it for your operating system. Okay, this is for 32-bit Windows, 64-bit Windows, Mac OS, Mac OS Linux, everything is there. Right. So after installing Java, you can go and type simply download Eclipse Oxygen. Download the Oxygen version of Eclipse. Okay. And Eclipse is the editor for Java. You can write Java code in that. Many of you must be knowing it. Okay. But I'm starting from basics because there are people in this training who don't have any background. Okay. You will write the Java code inside Eclipse. Right. So you can just go to this link and Eclipse Oxygen packages. You can see Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers. Download it to Windows 32-bit 64. Depending on your PC, you can download it. Once you download and configure Eclipse on your PC, you will get this shortcut. Okay, you can click on it and Eclipse will start. Fine, it's an editor. Right, initially while starting Eclipse, it will ask you about this path. Okay, this is the path where we will be storing our complete code. Okay, right, I will store it at this location, right, and say launch. So whatever code you write inside Eclipse will be stored at this location now. All the projects and all everything. Okay, you must be knowing it. Quite a number of people must be knowing about it, but I'm just giving you an overview. Right. Okay. Now, meanwhile, Eclipse opens. Okay, it has opened. This is the welcome screen of Eclipse. Fine. And you can close this welcome screen. You can close this over here. Okay. Now, out here, this is the Project Explorer. This is the outline. You don't need it. You can close this. It's not needed. Okay. Right. Now, out here, you can close task list. Project Explorer is something in which we'll be keeping the projects and all. Okay. Before I start off with Selenium, okay, let me show you something. If I go to the official website of Selenium, which is seleniumhq.org, this is the official website of Selenium. And the first line is Selenium automates browsers. Look, this is an automation testing tool. It is only meant for browsers. It is not meant for desktop applications. Fine. Secondly, if you go to the download section and if you scroll down, Selenium is available in following languages. In these all languages, Selenium is available. Fine. The latest version is 3.14. Okay. This is the Javadoc link. Okay, Javadoc link means the documentation of Selenium. This is the Java version. You can download it from here. I'll tell you in something. This is the Javadoc, which is the documentation. and it covers everything. But the only problem is to understand this documentation and to get the most out of it, you should be knowing Java. And not just Java, you should be knowing object oriented programming in Java. Okay, so the goal right now, initially, my goal is to start off with the object oriented programming. Oops. Because if you don't understand oops, you cannot understand this documentation. Okay, I'll come over to it. Just be with me. Right. Inside Eclipse, I will just create my first project. You can go to File, New Project or Other, General Project, or in Java, you can go for simple Java project. You can do anything. Okay. Right. And I will call it day one. Hold on. All right. Fine. So this is the project, and if I expand this project, you will see a source folder and JRE system library. This JRE system library is Java, which is installed on your PC, JDK which you installed. Okay, if you right click on your project, just right click on the project, you will see lot of options. We'll be seeing these options, right? One of the options is properties. It is in the end. You can go to it and you will see under resource, you will see the location of the, it will tell you on the hard drive where the project is located. You can go to this location. Okay, you'll see the day one project, and under day one there will be many files and folders, out of which only the source folder is visible to you inside Eclipse. Okay, inside Eclipse only source folder will be visible, the remaining folders will not be visible. Whatever coding we will be doing inside the source folder. Okay, I'll just create a new class. A new class means a new Java file, and call it basics of Java. Okay, right. Now I'm assuming basically, look, first of all, what is this public class basic Java? This is how you declare the class in Java. Okay, what is static? What is public? We will come over to it. Right now I cannot tell you exactly what static is. It's something in the object-oriented programming. Main is the initial function in which the control comes up for the first time. Okay, if I print something in Java, the command is system.out.println. Okay, and you can type hello, and when you run this, it will just print hello at the bottom. The command is system.out.println. The shortcut is you type syso, hit control spacebar, select the first option, will get system.out.println. Okay, right. So the control comes inside the main function for the first time. In other languages as well, you pick up C++ or C sharp or any language, there is always a main function, right? Now out here, I am assuming you know what an integer is, you know what a string is, because my focus is to start off with object oriented programming. Okay, right. You know what a boolean type is. Boolean can be evaluated to true or false. Okay, you know what exactly for loops are, what while loops are. Okay, if you are not aware of these, you can watch the first two modules on our website qtpselenium.com. Okay, we cover these basic things. Alright, if you have never done programming, you can first watch the videos. That will help you a lot. Okay, you can go to the training section, and over here you can watch the first module and the second module as well. Okay, right. So this is how it works. Fine. Now, if I look at the folder, if I look at my day one folder, this is the source folder. If I open it, I will be able to see basics of Java which I had just made. Okay, I haven't saved it, I guess. I'll save it. You can save it from here. Okay, and if I look at basics of Java, you will be able to see the contents of this file. Right. And in my bin folder, this is my bin folder, you will be able to see basics java.class. Every Java file, when it's compiled, it gets converted into a class file. This is that class file. Every Java file, if I make one more Java file, okay, something like temp.java with the main function, right? And inside this file, I just type Selenium and I run this. You can run it from this button and it will print Selenium, and you will see that temp.class file will be generated inside the bin folder. If I open this class file, you will not be able to understand anything. It's not a binary language as well. It's something like a machine language or something. Okay, look, class file is like a exe file. You can put it on any operating system. I have my Windows OS. If I put this class file on Mac OS or Linux or Solaris, any operating system, I will be able to execute this. And that is why Java is famous, because it is platform independent. Platform independent means you can make Java code on any operating system and run it on any operating system. And that's why it's also preferred with Selenium, because at times you have to run your scripts on different operating systems. Right, so this class file we generally deploy over there and we are able to run. Okay, look, when we have multiple class files, suppose you are working on a project. Okay, in a project, at times you come across multiple class files because the number of Java files they increase. Suppose you have got 1000 class files with you. So how do you manage them? How do you give it to the client? For example, the client tells you that fine, give me the class files. Okay, so you put all the class files in a single file. This single file is known as a jar file. Jar file is nothing but it is collection of many different class files, and you can send this class file to the client. Sorry, the jar file to the client. It's something like zipping the files. You can take it in that way, right? For example, when you installed Java, you had this JRE system library in your project because you have installed Java. If you expand this, this has got nothing but many jar files. These are the default Java jars which you get from Oracle once you install JDK. Each of these Java jar files, if I expand them, each of these jar files, it has got many class files. Okay, we use the inbuilt class files out here. For example, if I write over here system.out.println new date. Okay, what is new? Just forget about it for time being. Okay, and if I run this, It prints the current date, time, time zone, everything. So if I had to calculate the current date, time, time zone, I could have written my own code as well, but Java gives you a internal class known as date. This class is somewhere inside rt.jar actually, I guess. Right, hold on. Yes. Hold on. No, it's out here. It's out here. Date.classify. Okay. Guys, please keep your microphones on mute. If you have any questions, you can ask. Right. And it's, yeah, it's a feature in Java. You can print the date object. Okay. Don't worry if you don't know what object is. Don't worry. Okay. Right. I'm just telling you that date class is something which is, or date is something, class is something which is somewhere in this jar file, but you can use the feature. Okay, so it is inbuilt. All right, you never had to write the programming logic to calculate date. And exactly the same thing is there in Selenium. In Selenium, everything is inbuilt. You don't have to, invent something, or, you don't have to worry about anything. All the commands to interact with the browser or are inbuilt. Okay, no matter which kind of browser it is, no matter what you want to do with the browser, you want to open the browser, then you want to navigate to certain link, or you want to get the title of the browser, or you want to extract something from this browser, everything is inbuilt. You don't have to worry about anything. Okay, right, you can go to the official website of Selenium, which is seleniumhq.org. Go to the download section. Look, I'm taking Java and I'm taking Selenium parallelly. I'm explaining you the concepts of Java, then I'm telling you how do they implement inside Selenium. I don't want to work out in this training that first I spend 10 days on Java, then I take up Selenium. I don't do that. Okay, I take up Java and parallelly I take up Selenium as well. Okay, so out here, this is the download link. Fine, you can download Java from here, the Java jar files for Selenium. Okay, right. Look, when you click on this download link, the Selenium guys, they give you a set of jar files. You already have Java jar files under JRE system library. You can download the Selenium jar files. Okay, right. I already have them on my PC. Hold on. Yeah, 3.14 version is there. Right. And inside, when you extract that zip file, you will have this client combined 3.14.jar. This is the main jar file of it. Okay. Apart from this jar, there are other jars under the lib folder which you will be needing. Fine. So to import these jars, you'll have to import these jars in your project to make the project Selenium enabled. And after that, you can use the features in this jar files. Okay. You can right click on the project, go to the properties, right? And you will see options on the left side. On the left side options, go to Java build path, the fourth from the top, and you will see many tabs over here. Go to the libraries tab and select add external jars. Okay, I'm recording this session in case you don't get it. You can look at the recording. I will be mailing you the recording. Okay, you select this jar file and then select the jar file under the libs directory as well. Select all these jar files. Make sure you have the client combine the main jar file as well as the jar files in lib folder. At times people don't add the jar files in lib folder and find themselves in trouble later on. So make sure you add all the jars. Fine. And you will have this reference libraries section under which you will be able to see all the jars of Selenium. If you don't, sometimes the jars directly come up, people don't see the reference libraries section. Make sure that in Eclipse you are in Java perspective. There are different perspectives inside Eclipse as a tool. Okay, you see this small icon. Okay, this one, right? You click on this and select the Java perspective. Okay, you will see reference libraries and the jars under it. Now in Selenium, you just have to use the inbuilt features of these jars. For example, if I write new Chrome driver, when you write it, you will get an error or something when you run the program. But I won't get it. There is reason for that. You will come to know. So I've just used one of the classes, Chrome driver class, which is present in one of these jar files. It is given by Selenium guys to work with Chrome. And if I run this, Chrome opens up automatically. So as I told you, everything is inbuilt. And what you need to focus is firstly on object-oriented programming. Okay, so my main focus will now be towards object-oriented programming and then I will come over to Selenium. Okay, before I move over to object-oriented programming, there are two things which I want, there are some rather few things which I want to tell you. Right, first of all is about Eclipse. Look, Eclipse IDE, many of you must have used it, but at times people they fall into trouble and then they don't know how to come out of it. For example, at times you might close the Project Explorer by mistake, and after you close it, you really don't know where to go. And I've seen people coming to me with these issues that my Project Explorer got closed. How do I work it out? Right. You can simply go to Window and you can go to Show View and you will have the Package Explorer. You can click on that and click on. Okay, right. Or at times people close this console as well, the output window. Okay, you can bring it back by again Window Show View Console. Okay, yeah, this is the option. You have got everything out here under Window Show View. You can open up any view from here. All right, fine. So this is the first thing. Second thing is debugging. This is again very important. Okay, for example, I'll make a new program, print print.java. Right, for example, I'll just tell you, I'll write a logic over here. Okay, I'll write a logic that, for example, I will write a for loop for int I equals to 0 to I less than, say, 100, I plus plus. Okay, and I will just print system.out.println. Just hold on, I'll tell you what am I doing. Let's start with 1 and I less than equals to 10. Hold on, I'll tell you what am I doing. Just be with me. I cross 9. Okay, so if I run it, it will print the table of 9 from 9 cross 1 to 9 cross 10. Okay, right. Or suppose if I have to find the sum of first 10 numbers, then I can write this logic and I can find the sum of first 10 numbers, and I can from 1 to 10, and I can print the sum. I've initially assumed that the sum is 0, and in this for loop I keep on updating the sum by writing sum equals to sum plus I. Right, and when you run this, it will print the sum of first 10 numbers. Now, at times, you might not get the programming logic or you might be getting error. So you can debug your programs. Okay, what do you mean by debugging? By debugging, I mean that you can run your programs line by line. Okay, you can print over here system.out.println. I'm printing suppose A. And along with this line, I will double click in front of this line and introduce a break. Okay, and I'm going to run it in the debug mode. This is the icon to run this program in the debug mode. When you click on it, the control will stop on this line. Okay, right. And you can run this program line by line by hitting F6. If I hit F6, this line will be executed. You see that A is printed. Now the control is on the next line. Okay, if I hit F6 again, sum will be initialized to 0. And out here there will be a variables section. In this variables section, sum will be initialized to the value of 0. Okay, and then you can write this for loop to increment the value of this sum variable. Okay, see that every time I'm running, the sum variable is incrementing. I value is 2 now, sum is 3. Okay, in the next line, sum will be added to the value of I. 3 plus 3, sum will become 6. So this is how you can run it line by line, hitting F6. If you don't wish to run it any longer line by line, you can opt to run it as a normal program by hitting F8. If I hit F8, then this will run like a normal program. Alright, I can put multiple breakpoints. I can put a breakpoint on this line, I can put a breakpoint on this line, and I can run it in the debug mode. Okay, it will stop on this line. Maybe I want to run it line by line. I can hit F6 and run it. Okay, if I hit F8, it will run normally and it will stop on the next breakpoint. See, it has stopped on the next breakpoint. If this hadn't been there, the program would have ended. And if you move, you look at this, you will see the variable values, whatever variables you had. Also, if you move your mouse over the variable, you will be able to see the value. Okay, if you want to check the values of your variables, you can move the mouse or you can check it over here. This debugging is really very good thing. Okay, you can terminate the program from here. When you debug your programs, you switch over to the debug perspective. Automatically Eclipse does that. You can come back to Java perspective from here. Okay, right. So there are different perspectives, two perspectives basically, Java and debug, which we will be using in this training. Debugging is really important, especially when you are building big programs, you are building frameworks. Okay, when you are writing so many lines of codes and you really don't know what is going wrong. So at that point of time, this debugging really helps you out. And if you are a beginner, then it will certainly help you out. Okay, right. So we will actually stop here for today. It was a brief introductory class. Okay, right. Tomorrow I will be starting off with the concepts of object-oriented programming. Right. Before that, anybody with any questions? Any questions? Look, I'm starting from the very basics. Okay. And many of you might be knowing these things, but I have to start it off. We will start off Selenium basically from end of day 3 we will be starting off. Okay. Any questions from anyone?
Are you able to hear me?
Yes.